Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the OverMark podcast. I'm one half of your co-host, and speaking of co-host, let me introduce this guy only the way that he deserves, or something like that. He's out here still trying to bring back Jinko jeans. He swears by the pub subs like they're fine dining, and he remembers when Walmart had that little yellow smiley face bouncing around rolling the prices back. He might break stuff like Fred Durst, not Dorst, or he might just sit down and chill. It depends on the day. He's old enough to remember waiting in line at midnight for a video game launch, and he'll still beat your ass if you ever talk bad about the OverMark brand. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Well, it's Friday. We're doing another exciting episode of the show. It's been a long week.
I don't know. I had another week, been pretty easy, so I don't have anything to complain about.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Could always be worse.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. We've just been driving supplies, going back, doing a couple repairs, doing the bullshit work. So I'm really not minding it. And the weather's been awesome here. Like 70 degrees.
Yeah, when I leave the house in the morning, it's been like 68 to like 72, which has been really nice. But then, the highs most of the days have been like 81 to like 85. So for Florida, that's really good. We're not even seeing like high 80s right now. I'm sure that'll change, but
it was like 50 degrees here this morning.
Oh shit!
Yeah, technically 49.
Well, we'll take that.
Yeah, it was pretty nice when you get moving around in that, you start warming up pretty quick. And it was pretty nuts. So like I was out like 39 feet on this 40-foot ladder today on top of somebody's like leaning up against their house, putting up facial metal. And the whole time you're just thinking like, man, if I do something stupid here, I'm done.
Yeah. My Papa Joe used to own a vinyl siding business, and I remember one summer when I was probably like 14 or 15 going to work up there with him, and we were doing soffit and fascia like you're talking about, and like the standard 2-story apartment buildings that everybody has seen, I'm sure, where you walk in through that one front door, and then you can go upstairs, and there's like 2 apartments upstairs, and then there's 2 apartments downstairs, that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the soffit and fascia stuff on that was interesting for a young kid that was very terrified of heights.
Yeah,
we did it though.
I don't do too good with the basically being 40 feet in the air leaning against the house, but I'll do it. Somebody's got to do it. So you just get it over with and it's done.
Be as safe as you can. Yep.
Oh, trust me, I'm up there like I'm hitting the thing with the hammer like tink tink. You know what I mean? So I'm not hitting it that hard.
Yeah.
But anyway,
like I might get this done slow, but I'm gonna get it done and not die. So we're doing great.
Nobody else is doing it.
Well, hell yeah.
It was me. But lead us on.
Well, we got today's topics, which is going to be Raw from Monday, September 29th, 2025. Dynamite from Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. The news and a new segment that you folks certainly won't want to miss.
I agree.
Make sure to follow us on all of our socials at OverMarkENT. We're told that we need to start being more active on there by this thing to help us defeat Al. So that's what we're going to do. And we need your help to do that, I suppose. So why don't you check it on out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, brother. And I guess I'll jump us into Raw here, which was, like we just said, September 29th, 2025. Looks like they sold 10,632 tickets out of 10,953. Looks 321 left over. Maybe they sold out. Maybe they didn't. It's pretty close, though. I mean, that's almost 11,000 people. That's still a lot. They were at the
Lenovo.
Lenovo Center. Yeah, I was having a blonde
That's the
moment there. How
Lenovo
far away
brand.
from you is that?
About
In
an hour,
Raleigh, North Carolina.
2.5 hours.
Okay, yeah. So further away from you than what SmackDown was for me. So yeah, I at an hour 45, I'm not going to SmackDown, and at 2.5, I couldn't blame you for not going to Raw.
Well, it was
Like I said,
$230.
oof, yeah, it would have to be in Tampa because I literally just hop over on the expressway and in like 45 minutes, like on a bad day, I'm to the Ice Palace or the Amalie Arena, or maybe I think they just signed a new branding thing, and so they're going to name it something else. But it's the Ice Palace. I'm old. It was the Ice Palace when I was growing up. People from this area that have lived here the whole time still call it the Ice Palace. It's like Sears Tower in Chicago. You know, everybody calls it Willis Tower now because it's Willis Tower. People from back in the day still call it Sears Tower. It's whatever. I'm getting us way off topic here.
Oh, it's all good. I'm just not motivated enough to spend the amount of money that this company wants for me to come watch their boring show.
Right. I would have to know, like when Brandon had SmackDown in Chicago, and it was the return of AJ Lee, and he didn't buy tickets. But also, you didn't know that was going to happen then, so it was like, yeah.
What's the last time he's going to see Cena? So I mean, he knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, he probably should have went. He's not stoked that he didn't go. Spoiler alert, everybody. But anyhow, we're gonna talk about Raw now instead of our friends and our ticket woes, which we'll probably talk about later, I'm sure. So here on Raw, we had Io Sky comes out and helps Rhea Ripley after an attack from Asuka and Kairi Sane, and the Empress of Tomorrow sprays the poison mist into the eyes of Io Sky, and this was kind of entertaining. I liked the little vignette video that they had when Rhea was in the ring, and it was a little promo deal from Asuka and Kairi, and it had it had subtitles, which I thought was awesome. I don't know why I liked that so much, but I really did. Yeah.
This is a program that being built up the way it's supposed to be built up. It feels like old school. Everybody's playing their parts really well, and nobody has a belt, and it's still the top female program. So,
yeah. Another thing that I want to point out is Brandon has started to come around on Asuka and Kairi, saying, you know, he hadn't seen him enough, so he would always just poo poo on him.
Asuka's really good in the ring, man.
He was talking to me about that the other day. You know, we were in Discord. It's like 9:00 in the morning. He's like, you know, I was watching that match that Asuka was in, and she's actually pretty good, dude. I'm like, hell yeah. And he's like, I'm really starting to come around on Kairi too. I'm like, hell yeah.
Asuka's like aging in reverse, man. She looks better today than she did 5 years ago.
It's insane.
I don't get it.
Whatever she's doing, keep doing. Maybe just it's great genetics and a good diet. Who knows? Good on ya. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward, we had the Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio sneaking out a victory against Rusev. This was fairly entertaining. I liked to see Dom win this in the fashion that he did. Kind of perfect. Really good storytelling for the way that they have built him up, I thought.
He tried pulling the Eddie on him.
Yep.
Being hit, and I think he threw him the belt. It was the belt, right? Not a chair. But this is probably the best match that Russo's been involved in since he came back. So,
yep,
I'll give it that.
I could agree with that. Then we had Raquel defeating Bayley. You know, I kind of liked this. I like both of these girls. I wasn't like, you know, oh my God, in love with it, but, you know, I enjoyed it.
I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of there for me.
Well, then we had LA Knight defeating Kofi Kingston. I liked this, and the way that he hit him with the BFT at the end there was kind of like an out of nowhere deal. This was really good. I enjoyed these guys.
Yeah, they have good chemistry. This is a pretty solid match.
Work really well together. And then Cody and Seth had engaged in a heated confrontation that was fairly entertaining. They're doing a good job of making their match
Yeah,
seem like a big deal, and the build up has been good.
yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything too crazy, but they're gonna have one more, two more interactions before.
Yeah, and he was kind of back there telling him that he has to beat him, and then he was telling him that he has to do it alone. I don't know who's gonna win here. Yeah, this is usually you can see who's gonna win. I don't know.
They're
Maybe they
they're gonna end
maybe
up
they both lose somehow.
they're gonna have him Becky costing the match, and they're gonna have another mixed tag match, but this time it's gonna be with Brandy Rhodes.
Um, they Brandy just had a kid like a month ago. There's no way she's coming back.
Oh, she's getting ready, and they told her she has the opportunity of her life, and she will not miss out.
Oh no. Well, that sounds like some Dave Meltzer style reporting there. And so anyway, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defeating Los Americanos. I like AJ. I like Dragon Lee a little bit. So this was kind of entertaining. I don't hate the team of them together.
It was just okay, nothing too crazy.
I liked Styles' promo talking to the fans about maybe I'm repeating myself and this happened on a separate episode and I'm blonde, but I fairly certain it was this episode about how he was thankful for the fans and he was happy because of them. He gets to do something that he loves to do, and that's beat up John Cena. I enjoyed that
Yeah, it was
little
this one.
promo that he cut before the match.
You remember when he had Luke Gallows and Anderson with him, and that's what they did for like a couple months. They were just out
Yeah,
there
they
beating
were just
John Cena up. That's some good stuff.
pretty awesome. This episode is sponsored by Mountain Dew. Do the do. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Sponsor us though, Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Send us
come
free
on,
shit.
come on, brother.
I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, probably more than I should. But yeah, that's not great. We had the Usos defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in a tornado tag team match where the OTC returned and helped them secure the victory. And you know, he's mentally aligned with Jay in it looks like anyhow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In
Jimmy's
their
sitting there
behaviors and such.
in the back, like
Yeah.
he
Kind of just like, oh.
I told you, screw them, screw everybody else. It's just us.
Yeah.
It's the family. I've been telling you this the whole time.
Well, they figured it out.
They did.
It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here.
Yeah, the never-ending Bloodline saga.
And something like most good or great stories in the WWE or stories in general sometimes that may not be so good. It's something that you can always come back to.
Jay's
Speaking of coming back to things, we got the high point, low point. And I'm going to ask TJ, what was your high point, TJ?
All right, so my high point here was the Sky Ripley Asuka Sane opening segment. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, it was this whole thing just reminds me of like kind of old school wrestling. It's really simple what they're doing, but I'm enjoying it. Feels like a big time program.
It does. It really does. And I'm kind of about to say the same thing about my high point, which was the Seth Cody segment. Not it was this has big match, big fight feel. And it reminds me of sitting here as an old guy. I think back to like Brett and Sean type of rivalry where it's two guys that are kind of, at the tippy top of the industry going against each other. So this is kind of like the Brett versus Sean of this generation. Obviously, neither of these guys are Brett and Sean. They're their own people anyway, but it has that type of feel
I agree.
and presentation for this era, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. I know that they've wrestled plenty of times before, and I'm not sure. I think everybody's generally like the consensus is they were pretty decent matches, but I feel like they'll probably outdo themselves this time.
Yeah, I mean this will probably be the biggest one that they've had so far, and that's that covers some ground.
Yeah,
And they're not going to be doing a bunch of goofy hack table spot. Not that there's not a place for that sometimes, but this match is going to be a great match, I'm sure, and they're not going to have to do all of that.
nah,
That's all.
There's a time and a place for that, like you said.
Certainly, like a blow-off match.
Yeah, not this one.
And yeah, this already has a big enough deal because it's both of your world champions.
Yep, for sure. Like I said, should be cool. And then Cody keeps showing off that ring. It's funny. It's like,
Yeah.
is that a is that what Dusty did? Did Dusty show off rings? I guess he did at one point.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this ring here. I can't do a very good Dusty, but
Yeah, me either.
Anyway, let's move on to the low point. And why don't you tell us what yours was?
All right. So my low point here was Bailey versus Raquel Rodriguez. It just I know that they're trying to do this weird Bailey's nuts thing, and I guess at least it's something different. But I'm just not crazy about Bailey, and I don't know, not trying to hate on her, just not too much going on there for me.
Yeah, mine was the same. Even though when we talked about the match, I kind of put it over a little bit, it still was the lowest point of the episode compared to all the other stuff I felt. So we'll move on to the show rankings. And TJ, what did you rank this episode?
I gave it a 4. Now that I reflect back on it, though, I think probably a 5 would be a little bit more fair.
Yeah, I also gave it a 4, but revisionist history, maybe a 5 was warranted because this was probably an average episode. So I think this will be the second time ever. I'm just going to go ahead and change it to 5. Change yours to 5 too if you want to. This was an average episode. It wasn't below average. I felt like I was harsh in my 4. You probably were harsh in yours as well.
We watch a lot of wrestling, so I'm sure that could
Yeah.
affect what we're.
Sometimes we're tired and jaded, but yeah, looking back on this, if the low point is Bailey versus Raquel, this was at least a decent average episode.
I agree, but
Yeah.
speaking of average, we're gonna go to something that's a little bit below average, dude, or maybe average for what it is. So that's AEW Dynamite that took place on October 1st, 2025, and they distributed 3,650 tickets, but they had 3,830 that they could have done, so they had 180 left. I'm sure they ended up filling that in there. They do offer them for free after long enough, so I imagine that they got that place filled up in there at the Hard Rock Live at Hollywood, Florida, who also is one of those places that will bring you food to your seat if you pay for it. So
Yep.
you can maybe, eat a burger with your live wrestling. That'd be pretty cool, huh?
And for those, yeah, it would be. And for those of you saying, Dave, AEW is in Florida, you're in Florida. Hollywood, Florida is almost Miami, and I'm basically Tampa. So if I'm not driving an hour 45 to catch SmackDown, I'm definitely not driving like 5 hours for Collision.
Absolutely not. Well, Dynamite, but absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, that said, it was an anniversary episode, so if you were going to make a drive, yeah, well, yeah, a little bit, not much, but like they used the old music. Kenny was there, which
oh boy.
yeah. I mean, I like Kenny, but anyway, why don't you continue on?
I like Kenny too. It's just what they have him doing, But I don't know.
Right.
I was glad to see him. So we got this trios match that started it off. Actually, it was a little thing with the Bucks, and they were talking about. I was getting mixed up, but I think Matt ended up telling Nick that he has a way to double the money, and then he went and gambled it all the way. They were gonna.
Oh no.
Nick went away, and he was trying to get the production team to set up this big thing, but he was gonna have to pay for it. But he ended up coming to him, felt the bag, it was empty, and he gambled the rest of their money away. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that being said, then it went to a match after that, trios match. And the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Brodito, and they were with Kenny Omega, and they defeated Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. And then post-match, Jurassic Express came out, and they did an attack on the Bucks, and Andrade is back, and he aligned with Don Callis and his family, and they left Kenny Omega lying. I don't know. It's kind of funny bring this up because
A lot.
Well, first off, I'm going to go to this and bring this up for me later if I don't remember. But they had Andrade show up and re-debut, and then they have another Lucha guy debut later in the night. And it's like, oh, so that's like 2 guys debut in one night? That's not very special. You kind of shit all over Andrade's thing. I'd have been pissed if I was him. But anyways, and then the post-match with Jurassic Express, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but who gives a fuck, man? I don't care about seeing him go against the Bucks.
Nah.
But the match was okay. I didn't hate it, but I mean, what the fuck? You know, how many people are they gonna have join the Don Callis family?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole lot to unpack for just the opening segment too. Very different style of storytelling. But so the money thing, that's pretty entertaining and pretty funny. Normally, I poo poo all over the stuff that the Young Bucks do, but that was good, and it seems like it'll go somewhere. Um, as much as I usually shit all over Brodito, this is probably one of their more entertaining things that they've done. I found myself entertained by them when Brody King was slamming them onto the Bucks. Like he slams the one young buck onto the other young buck, and
Yeah.
then the other guy, and then fucking slams Bandito onto him, and then slams Kenny onto him, and then Bandito slammed Brody onto him. That was kind of entertaining. I don't know. That reminded me of wrestling when I was a kid. That particular spot, you know what I mean? Like just a
They have one of those spots in every single Young Bucks match, but it's not tied to that. It's tied to something. So everybody takes turns with the tables, or everybody takes turns with the chairs,
yeah,
or everybody takes turns diving out. So this just so happened to be the sequence spot in this match.
yeah. I'm just saying, because it was the
I'm not
slams and it
shitting on
was
it.
not like just a. I don't know. It made me feel like a kid a little bit watching wrestling for that part. So good on you for that, you guys. Normally I poo poo on your team, so you managed to crack on through. And then Kenny, obviously, he did a good job. And fuck Josh Alexander. I don't know. I had hoped he was going to turn out better in AEW than he did. He's definitely not being used like in TNA. And I
He's the
really
guy
don't
that
want to see
loses.
Jurassic Express at all.
Me either, but Josh Alexander's the guy that loses to their top stars. It's
Yep.
kind of funny, but yeah, I don't want to see Jungle Boy either. But let him go out there, and then if he came back as the original Jungle Boy, I would be a little bit more accepting of it because that's something that has been proven to work, and I think people don't mind watching him fight in the underdog babyface role. But
Yeah.
he's going to do that thing again where he tries to act tough, and then like wants to like
And
yeah like who like
sorry.
you're good, but it's just like come on, man. Get a fucking haircut first off, man. Like, do something with.
Hey, hold on now.
No, like you. I think you're bigger. Like you would like stand over him a
Oh, I
bit.
mean, I'm 42 years old, but I probably take Jungle Boy.
But no, that's not the point.
I,
The point is that his presentation is not that of a tough guy. His hair is
right.
like it's just all over the place, and his beard's all over the place, and he just looks thin. And then he's got a fucking dinosaur with him. I don't give a fuck who you are. I-
Kids like dinosaurs though, so kids will like that.
But when you're Jungle
And
Boy, it
then
works. Sorry, when you're
yeah,
Jungle Boy, it works. But when you're a guy in a black leather outfit,
he's got like a dinosaur gimp mask.
yeah, like I'm, I don't know. I don't want to shit on it too much more, but I'm just saying it's fucking goofy,
Yeah,
and I'm sure that this is gonna work itself out, like the whole scapegoat thing did. He's gonna come out,
yeah.
and they're just gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? But
Well,
anyway,
they've got the built-in reaction for a while because they went back to the Tarzan Boy
yeah,
song or whatever the hell it's called.
that'll stop.
So that'll work for a little while. But and then the one last thing, of course, it was cool to see Andrade back. They obviously he didn't have to wait 90 days because of the fashion in which he was
Yeah,
let
they
go there,
fired
and he
him.
he had his hair down. It was looking very luxurious. TJ and I commented about, so that's why I wore my hair down this episode. I was like, I'll steal a little bit of that Andrade Latino heat.
I hopefully they do all right with him, but the last time he was in AEW, it wasn't looking too hot. But something else that wasn't looking too hot is Kyle Fletcher defeating Orange Cassidy. I don't hate either one of these guys, but I feel like it was just kind of there. Orange Cassidy didn't
Yep.
need to be involved with Kyle Fletcher, and Kyle Fletcher didn't need to be involved with Orange Cassidy.
Now maybe I'm not paying enough attention to Orange Cassidy. Not that I pay attention to him anyway, but I noticed he came out to the "Where Is My Mind" song. Is he not doing the Jefferson Starship song anymore, or
He
has
hasn't
he
for a
not been
while.
for a while?
He hasn't for a
Okay,
while.
I just hadn't been
Remember,
paying
he was
attention
hurt.
to his shit.
He just came back when Don Callis revealed his
Okay.
painting the other day.
I did like he come out and he gives his little half-hearted thumbs up and the single little wimpy pyro goes off. That made me chuckle a little bit.
Well, I don't know if you saw, he had an error on his intro when he came out, and I guess that was
Yes.
preluding to old Code or whatever the fuck his name is coming out. Clone. Hologram's evil clone.
Oh
That was the
no.
Lucha guy at the end of the show. I can tell that like you were watching it and you absorbed at that point. You were probably like just watching the fucking
Very checked
screen.
the fuck out.
But anyways, we got this trios match with the AEW World Champion Hangman Page with Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe, and they defeated Death Riders, John Moxley, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli. I'm not gonna hop on this too long, but stop having Hangman Adam Page involved with John Moxley. Hangman Page's run so far. I like the Kyle Fletcher stuff they did, but beyond that, I'm tired of this. I guess the match with him and Joe should be good, but this is just going to be a little 3-week program and a blow-off match, a one-off. And I don't know, just no more John Moxley, and especially no more John Moxley against Hangman.
Yeah. I kind of hope the match with him and Joe, they just have Joe go out there and work him like Brock versus Cena.
Yeah, that'd be cool, and somehow he just scrapes it out, I guess, because they're not going to have him lose.
No, have him lose. Fuck. Put the belt back on Joe. He was better champ than most of the guys that they've had there.
I agree. He definitely is, looks like a world champion, or at least holds himself like one. But then, speaking of world champion, we have somebody that was not too long ago when Timeless Tony Storm defeating Tay Mello, plus a post-match Tony Storm promo. This was good.
Yeah, I was very entertained by this. I was very disappointed in my fellow Floridians whatting Tony Storm during her promo. You guys don't do that. Fuck off with that. Learn some better etiquette. We don't do that here.
Wait till the fans get bored with her over here or something. She says that she's going to be AEW for life. Wait a couple years and the next contract rolls around. People get bored giving her the reaction she wants. She'll leave. I'm not saying I even want her to. I'm just saying I just see that in her future if that's what the crowd is going to do to her there. But
yeah, don't chase her off like you guys did Cody.
Yeah. So then we got the Gates of Agony defeating the Swirl. I could have swirled my ass onto doing something else.
The swirl sounds like a sex move or something. I don't know. I don't have anything
Blake
for this
Christian
match. I didn't
and
want to.
whoever else. But anyways, we get the mixed tag team tornado match. Seems like we're getting a lot of these mixed matches a lot lately. Ever since
Weird.
another company did that. But Darby Allin and AEW Women's Champion Chris Statlander defeats Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir of the Death Riders. I don't know. Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir aren't it, and I don't know. Darby Allin's all right, but just this whole thing was just kind of there. Just didn't feel like a big deal to me, and it was an okay enough
Old
match.
Statlander couldn't save it. Yeah.
No, well, I don't think Chris Statlander's going to be able to save much. I mean, she's somewhat over, but it's like I don't think the crowd really goes nuts for her or anything. She's not Tony. They only have like one woman that they build up to be a big deal over there, and it's fucking Tony Storm.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be having her get the belt back here sooner than later. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, nobody. But what was your high point, Dave?
Well, I have to say Tony versus Tay. It was more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, and I don't hate Ty Mello. She's all right.
Wink, wink. You don't hate her?
Huh?
You don't hate her? Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, wink, wink.
But no, it was decent. I agree. But my high point, which it's sad, but the Bucks opening where they blew all their money, do the gambling, I feel like they finally had like this money match thing pay off and lead somewhere. So I'm going to give them their props on that. Way to go, AEW. And I'm sure the Bucks had a hand in this too. So you did something that I didn't hate. What was your low point, Dave?
Good job. Well, we talked about it during the match, but I didn't actually name it. Was the trios match with Hangman and the Death Riders and Hobbs and Joe. I don't hate Hobbs and Joe, but I'm Hangman out and I'm super Death Riders out. So like, hopefully, Hobbs and Joe move onward and upward and away from all of this.
Yeah, I feel like this company had a point to really make Will Ospreay, and this is before he got hurt and all that, or at least they had announced it, to make Will Ospreay the guy and ride some
Yep.
momentum and ride a wave of somebody like being organically over. And it's just like Hangman Adam Page. Like, wah, 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 wah. You know what I mean? Big stinker.
Yeah, it's like a hard pass for me.
So my low point was the opening trios with Brodito, Kenny, versus Josh Alexander and the Bucks, with their little shitty post match. I don't know, just what wasn't great. Like you said, Josh Alexander, he's just the guy that loses to the guys, and the Bucks, they always do their stuff. This wasn't the worst match in the world. It's just like, why should I care about what any of these guys are doing? And literally, Brodito's the definition of guys that are just there. You could put a million titles on him.
Maybe we could call him Job Alexander,
Maybe. I think that's what we'll try to do. But what would you have ranked this show, Dave?
Well, I might be being generous here, but I gave it a 3. It was better than the 2s that they've been giving us, but I didn't feel necessarily confident giving it a 4 or higher. It was just kind of I mean, it really only had a little bit of stuff that I was like, found acceptable for me to watch.
So, I give this a 2.
Wow.
The show just is the same to me every week. There's no MJF on it, so they should be fortunate that I'm even giving them a 2. But, bro, it's like when Tony Khan's into something, he puts them all over the show on every show. Death Riders, Brodito. What happened to Jet Speed?
Don't ask that. I'm kind of glad we're not seeing Jet Speed.
I'm just saying, what happened? Is he out of favor with them now? Oh, yeah, he is. He likes Brodito now. So Jet Speed aren't the big shiny new toy, and his little tag team, but he paired together in Brodito. Well, that's his thing. So,
No, that sucks.
that's how he works, man. It's always the flavor of the month. At least that's the way it seems. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. And another thing I'd like to say is Secret Labs sponsor us. We could use some new chairs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We'll do you some really good, funny ads. They'll be the best ads that you guys have had by anybody. We can guarantee it.
We'll do it's 2 chairs, so you get 2 unboxing videos.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll have the chair box us up a little bit, and we'll act like we're getting beat up by it. A fresh spin.
It's the Titan XLs, right, TJ?
I think so. The ones with the flat bottoms. I don't like the bucket like bottoms.
Right. Yeah.
Because like
Titan XL, and we want the with the footrest attachment as well, if you could, please. If not, that's okay. Well, but if you feel like it.
Yeah, please. Come on, don't make us beg over here.
Please.
Yeah, we'll pick them up from the Amazon dropship box.
That's right, dude.
But all right. What are we doing next?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh man, it's that noise again.
And I got news for you.
For who, me, or for the people?
Everybody. I mean, it could be for you, could be for everybody, could be for me. Who knows? We'll find out together.
Okay, so we did the same thing as last week, or at least I did, where all of these start with me. So let's begin.
That's
this.
okay.
Oh, I know it is. I'm just telling you. Let's begin.
Oh yeah.
And we got Michelle McCoole. Well, she's defending herself because she had a little bit of online criticism, and I think a lot of that's fair. But we'll break it down here. So you saw that Michelle McCoole stuff blowing up last week, right, Dave?
Oh yeah, I saw it. Let's get into it.
Okay, so Michelle McCoole comes out saying that she's getting all this hate online, right? And then she's using it as this big life lesson for her daughter. Like, see, this is why you don't need social media.
Yeah, but let's be real here. The only reason she's in half these spots right now is because of Taker. Undertaker starts a podcast with his buddy. Then suddenly WWE picks it up. Poof. And his wife's his co-host instead.
Exactly. And then you look at the WWE LFG, that one show that they were doing. Mickey James was in the woman's coach role. And then who's in next? Well, that's Michelle McCoole. You think that's a coincidence? Like, she was literally already there for season 2. And then they replaced her, like, right before they started filming. But it's Undertaker kind of flexing some of that power he has backstage.
Yeah, and it's ironic. She's talking about how people are being mean or unfair, but come on, when people are calling out the obvious, she was a average at best wrestler in an era that was already weak for women's wrestling. And it's not like she was full on carrying the division.
Right now, instead of owning that criticism, she's deflecting with, "Oh, I'm just using this negativity as a teaching moment for my daughter." That doesn't sound like growth to me or some kind of positive message. That sounds like someone who refuses to hear truth and like actually grow and just accept maybe what's going on.
Exactly. Like, yeah, social media definitely can be toxic. We all get that. And some of that criticism, it's valid. Wear it, learn from it, and don't hide behind your kid like it's a shield.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, man. When you only get in those positions because of your husband, and then you play the victim when people notice this stuff, that's not really inspiring. That's just kind of, delusional.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, did you,
quite a bit.
yeah, I mean, you saw, like, we don't have the quote here, but she literally was like, saying that, like, she doesn't allow her daughter to be on social media. And then she pointed all this out to her daughter and showed it to her and told her, this is why you don't get on social media. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You
Yeah,
know, like,
kind of goofy shit.
yeah, it's just like, well, I can see like maybe how you could try to spin that into something positive for your life, but don't show your kid any of your negative stuff because that's just going to let them think that all people are crap and that you're not going to. She's going to be afraid to socialize with people. That's just kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
Just keep that to yourself, and I wouldn't say anything because it's just like, fuck yeah, I'm here because my husband, you know. Any you agree
Yeah.
with all that? Any of that sound wrong?
Oh no, I mean that's pretty much spot on. I mean, I just she stole that guy's job. I enjoyed listening to that podcast, and it's a much harder listen now. And the funny thing is, I at first I didn't care for his co-host all that much and his flip flops. Like, put on some shoes, dude. But he proved me wrong and turned out to be a very good co-host with the Undertaker. But here we are,
Did you see that he I forget the guy's name that was helping him. I think it was Matt or something.
Matt.
Yeah, so
Yep.
he ended up writing something about the reason why and he ended up deleting it and apparently he said that like Undertaker went and sold the thing without his knowledge. Uh,
Oh,
that's not
wow.
that's not a
Well,
fact, but I'm just saying that's something that I did read. So it's take that for what it is, but and we don't hate Michelle McCool, by the way. We wish her nothing but the best. I'm sure Undertaker married her because she's a really cool chick. But that being said, I mean nepotism, if that's the
no,
correct
I'm just kidding.
the correct it's nepotism, right? Is that the word? Like
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's 100% what's going on here, but it's not like I wouldn't be above having something like that happen to me myself, so I can't really hate too much, but we're just saying, leave the kid out of it, don't deflect, and just either don't say anything, but never bring the kids into it.
That's true. Well,
All right.
speaking of things to not bring kids into, what's going on with our next segment?
All right. So Andrade's back in AEW, Dave. Can you believe it?
Hell yeah, I can. We just talked about it, but we've got more.
All right.
If
So,
you can believe it.
oh, I can. So Andrade's back in AEW. He attacked Kenny Omega. He joined the Don Callis family. So, Dave, do you think that this time he's finally going to get used right? Or are we going to be setting the clock until he's upset again?
Man, Andrade, he's the guy that likes to complain about every job he's ever had. WWE didn't get him. AEW didn't get him. Now he's back in AEW. And spoiler alert, they still might not get him.
Yeah, he's like that coworker who keeps quitting and then crawling back when he realizes that rent's due. He's talented as hell, don't get me wrong about that. But somehow he always ends up on where are they now part of the roster, kind of not doing too much.
Yeah, exactly. And Andrade is a world class wrestler, but AEW's roster is like a giant lost and found box. If you're not Kenny, Moxley, or one of Tony's shiny new toys, you're kind of just there.
Yeah, and that's a shame of it, right? Because if you look at the guy, he's got a great look. He's smooth in the ring. Like he's a total main event vibe in some aspects. You'd think it'd be a no-brainer, right? But somehow every company that he ends up in it just doesn't work.
Maybe the Don Callis family happens, but if they can't find something solid for him this time, he might as well start a podcast called Places I Was Misused.
I'd probably listen to that. What would it be like? Episode 1, Why WWE Screwed Me? Maybe we get like episode 2, Why AEW Screwed Me. And then, like, what's episode 3? Stay tuned for my big debut in Impact Wrestling after this doesn't work.
And don't forget the bonus episode coming soon to CMLL, maybe.
Yeah, so like, this is like a long story here. It's like about a 10-year ordeal when this first, like from the first WWE signing, which was in
Yeah.
2015, and that was actually in NXT, and he became their champion in 2017. So he was a champion after 2 years there, and his main roster run was kind of inconsistent despite winning the U.S. title in 2019. He left WWE in 2021 after requesting his release, and then Andrade debuted in AEW in June 2021, and he kind of had like a start-stop run. It included some issues and some backstage altercations with Sammy Guevara. He like slapped him or something, which Sammy shouldn't have done that. I feel like Andrade messed him up, but his
Yeah.
AEW contract expired at the end of 2023, and then he made a surprise to WWE or return there in the 2024 Royal Rumble. But by September 2025, Andrade reportedly left again due to some disciplinary issues, despite having 18 months left on his deal. And then he literally just reemerged on AEW the other day on their 6th anniversary show, attacking Kenny Omega and aligning with the Don Callis family. That's a mouthful
I'm sure
right
you
there.
read the same shit that I did. Yeah, that was a mouthful. There's now reporting that he failed multiple wellness violations,
I mean,
not just the one.
we knew, so we don't know any of this for a fact, but we know that we read that at the beginning that it was at least one. So, I mean, whatever. And it's not for weed. So it's either steroids or like some harder drug. Hopefully that's not what he has going on. I, he did just get divorced, so he could be in a dark place, but I wish nothing for the best for this guy, I don't wish any harm on anybody. And, substance abuse issues is a real struggle that a lot of people deal with. And I'm hoping that that's not something that he has going on. He's super talented. Apparently, from what some bullshit dirt sheet journalist said, that AEW picked him up because they want another major Mexican star for their attempt to try to help pick up Mexican fans. And it's like, I got news for you, man. You could have Mystico on your show every week. You're not picking up a bigger Mexican audience. You would have to take the whole Mexican scene completely and then have that take over your show. Your show stinks. It's
Yeah,
Andrade's going to do nothing
it's
for
not
you.
great.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I know I went on a rant
No,
there.
you're good.
But
No, please, ran away.
no. Well, you got anything to add to that?
Not really. I just saw a little thing here that I sent to you. We'll talk about that some other time. We can move on to the next point of news.
Okay.
What do we got?
Mark Henry's was talking about Reigns versus Rock. He's got a kind of little odd take or spin on this that I feel like,
And
anybody that when you hear this, you're gonna be like, man, are you stupid, Mark? Which Mark's not stupid,
well,
but
he's been having some dumbass takes lately, so I'm kind of not surprised if this is a stupid one. Let's see where this goes.
So Mark Henry comes out saying that the window for Reigns versus Rock is closed. What does he mean closed? You know what I mean? That's like saying that the window for printing money is closed. Roman versus Rock is still the biggest thing that they could do out of any match at all, period.
Exactly. I mean, unless they can drag Stone Cold out of his ranch and talk him into wrestling CM Punk, and even then, that's apples to oranges, beer cans to Pepsi cans. Cool to imagine, but it's not the match.
Right. Let's be real. If they actually booked Roman Reigns versus Rock, people would empty their bank accounts for those tickets. Fans would be selling their kidneys, selling PlayStations, pawning grandma's jewelry, whatever it takes. That thing prints money no matter when it happens, where it happens, all that stuff.
Yeah, and Henry's pitch, turning Roman babyface, making him the chief of all chiefs, all about earning his family's respect instead of ruling by fear. Honestly, it's not a terrible idea, but far from the worst pitch we've ever heard.
Yeah, and we've heard some pretty awful ones, right? I remember people fantasy booking Hornswoggle as the real tribal chief, which I don't think there was a lot of people doing that. Somebody pitched that once, though, so you can't tell me that Henry's idea is any worse than that, I guess, but that's an extreme example.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'll give Henry this. If they don't do Rock, that babyface redemption arc for Roman could work. Fans would get behind it. You've got Solo as the heel, and you've got the family tension. It kind of writes itself.
Sure, but that doesn't change the fact that The Rock is still the golden goose, right? And we fully expect him to be at WrestleMania 43 in some capacity, whether it's in a singles match with Roman or maybe even some kind of crazy tag match with all the Samoans on some side, or, the second his music hits, though, no matter where it's at, that place is going to go nuts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm not buying the whole windows closed thing. This is wrestling. Nothing's ever closed if the check's big enough. Doors reopen, windows reappear, walls get knocked down, and if Rock and Roman want to do business, it happens.
Yeah, bottom line, we like Henry's pitch, but let's not pretend that The Rock versus Roman Reigns wouldn't still be the biggest thing that WWE could possibly do right now. And if you're WWE, you don't leave that one on the table. You cash in that before Roman Reigns is done full time and The Rock goes back to shooting 15 minutes in a row. Sorry, movies in a row, not minutes. I guess he could shoot them in 15 minutes, but it probably wouldn't work out too good.
Well, 15-minute movies maybe. And hey, if that doesn't happen, sure, make Roman the babyface, chief of chiefs. Either way, it's better than some of the crap that we've seen pitched over the years. And if nothing else, at least it provides Mark Henry's still thinking like a booker. But speaking of Roman Reigns and the Bloodline,
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So we got another older wrestler from the same generation talking about the Bloodline here, and that's the Busted Open Radio Crew, which Mark goes on a lot. He's a part of them, right? Or is he just a guest? But
he's just guessed.
so Roman picks Jay and leaves Jimmy hanging on Raw. So thanks, Dave, for hitting that off to me there, though. So we got Roman Reigns. He's back on Raw, and of course, the first thing that he does is play favorites. He walks right past Jimmy, hugs Jay, whispers something in his ear like he's the Don, like what Corleone at a family reunion, and Jimmy's just standing there in the background looking like a kid who just didn't get picked for dodgeball.
Yeah, and Dave LaGreca or whatever the hell his name
That's
is
it.
on Busted Open. What is it?
LaGreca.
LaGreca? Okay,
Yeah, you
cool.
got it.
I thought so. Hell yeah. He said that Roman basically told Jay, "This is your time now. Fuck everybody else. It's yours." And they had to mute him because Roman decided that Raw needed an uncensored pep talk.
It's classic WWE. You can't say hospital, but you can say that. And it does really feel like they're setting up Roman versus Jay. Roman plus Jay versus the world, or whatever Samoans that they might be going against. While Jimmy's just out there trying to be the nice guy. You saw him in the back just shaking his head. But LaGreca
Yeah.
said that Roman sees kindness as weakness.
Yeah, and Bully Ray had a good point. Why did the Usos even need Roman to help them win? They're supposed to be the baby faces, right? If you need your cousin to run in every time, that's not exactly underdog babyface booking.
Exactly. Well, I think that tells you what's really going on here. But it's like, congratulations, Jay. You're the chosen one. But you still can't hit win without Daddy Rain showing up to bail you out. It's not the strongest endorsement, if you ask me.
Yeah, and then LaGreca threw out the little bloodline power ranking: Roman at number one, Jay at number two, Jacob Fatu at three, and Jimmy. Well, Jimmy's basically hanging out in the parking lot, hoping to get a text back.
Oh, damn. I wonder if they're going to leave him hanging. It was a
Yeah,
cool little cliffhanger, though. You got Roman and Jay celebrating, Jimmy looking confused, and everybody online arguing what his face meant. Was he mad? Was he jealous? Or was he just trying to figure out if catering still had chicken tenders?
either way, WWE planted a seed here. They're gonna let it simmer for a few weeks. But if you can see where this is going, Roman and Jay are a team. Jimmy's getting left behind, and eventually we're probably going to get another bloodline civil war. Sure hope not.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be here for it, as I know you are. As long as they don't drag it out to like WrestleMania 50, I think we should be good on this one.
Yeah. It's all right storytelling. There's a lot they can do here.
Yeah,
Hopefully they do it well.
yeah. The Bloodline stuff is always some pretty good. It's always more the fleshed out story that they've had on the shows in a really long time, and it seems like this is never ending. But like we said, we're looking forward to seeing what happens because they all do a pretty good job with this stuff. They really like working together. They all have great chemistry. So we'll see where this goes, right?
Yeah. Hopefully somewhere good.
All right. Well,
Well,
I think we got a report here that you're going to talk about or lead us into.
oh boy. We had Kevin Nash discussing his recent heart procedure. A couple episodes ago, we talked to you about his doctor's stuff, and it's kind of a follow up deal. And man, I gotta say, Big Kev kind of gave everybody a scare. He goes in for a checkup. The doc tells him, "Hey, it looks like you might have had a little heart attack 20 years ago." I mean, how do you even process that? You're just sitting there. thinking you're fine, and the cardiologist drops that bomb on you. And Nash, to his credit, he took it serious because his own dad had passed away from a heart attack. So the next thing you know, he's having that procedure to fix his irregular heartbeat.
Yeah, and leave it to Nash to tell the story in kind of a way that only he can. He's like, "So I'm in the hospital all of 15 minutes, still got my shoes on. Nurses are smiling at me like they know something I don't." And then they hit him with the propofol or propofol. What's that?
Propofol.
So the man's talking about how they shaved his chest, slapped the pads on, and by the way, they had to electrocute him. Just your casual, like another day in the office for him, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he said his wife walked out before the zapping part. I can't blame her there. But then he's like, yeah, total time from start to finish was under an hour, procedure done, chest singed, and the next thing you know, I'm at IHOP eating pancakes. Only Kevin Nash could turn a heart surgery into a pit stop on the way to breakfast.
Man, I want pancakes now. IHOP's pretty good sometimes.
They are.
So, but that's the wild part, right? The guy's just had his heart shocked back into rhythm, but he's measuring it in IHOP minutes. I guess he's filling up his gas tank there. You need to refuel. But it's not hospital time that he was going in, some IHOP time. And honestly, I'm glad it went smooth for him. I mean, why won't we be? We're fucking big fans of him. I think we bring
Yeah.
up his content more than anybody else. He's had a tough run the last couple of years. He's lost a lot of buddies, lost some family. You can tell that he's suffering. I've dealt with a lot of the same shit that he's dealt with the past couple of years, and he's trooping on and doing the best he can.
Tough, definitely.
Yeah, could have been worse though, right?
Yep, could have been way scarier, but he's still here and he's still talking about it and he's making it sound like a road trip story instead of a medical emergency. That's part of why this guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's the last member of the NWO that's still around.
Yep.
What did we say it was? It's not NWO for life.
It's forever, that's right.
Yep. How do you do that? It's like NWO for ever or something like that.
Oh, I don't know how to do an E.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's not worth trying to do, but stick around. Yeah, stick around for as long as you can, Big Cat. We don't want you to go anywhere.
That's right.
Keep doing your podcast. Keep making your family happy, and keep making all the fans out there happy. Because it was tough losing Scott. It's tough losing Terry, the Hulkster, and it would be pretty terrible losing Kev. What's that?
Well, I talked to you about this a little off of the show, but since you brought him up, we haven't moved on to our next segment yet. We'll give you a little bonus fill in here.
Oh yeah, wow, they'll like that.
Yeah. Well, as our listeners may or may not know, as I've talked about a bunch of times, I live in Florida, and one of the counties that I work in, Pinellas County, our governor of our wonderful state, Ron DeSantis, was down at Hogan's Beach Shop in Clearwater, Florida, and there's a big long exercise trail, for like biking and running and stuff that runs the entire length of Pinellas County, and they have renamed a large segment of the Pinellas Trail from Clearwater down through Boca Ciega, where he lived, the Hulk Hogan Trail, and they debuted the sign. It looked really cool, the red and yellow, and it's they'll have that sign up at all of the spots where it would normally say Pinellas Trail for the area where it has since been renamed the Hulk Hogan Trail. So it's pretty cool that the state recognized him, and he's getting a little something. I'm sure that he'll get more accolades and things named after him than that, but it's just kind of neat little thing.
Yeah,
happened today.
Like you said, we're going to see a lot more of that. A lot of people were touched by the Hulkster, and when they pass, they start getting stuff named after them. But
sure do.
Speaking of something that we're going to pass to, it's going to be a rumor that we're going to be talking about here, and it's that the rumors are saying that the Saudis are going to buy WWE in its entirety. So did you see that headline floating around? It's probably been like the last 3 or 4 days, saying that the Saudi Arabia is going to be bought by WWE.
Yeah, I saw it, and I honestly don't think there's very much of that, man.
Same. It's like it doesn't make too much sense, right? WWE's already making crazy money. Why would TKO cash out now?
Exactly. They've been focused on paying off that loan from the merger. Once that's gone, they're the ones that get to enjoy all this profit. Why are they going to hand that over?
And look, they already have a pretty huge deal with the Saudis. They've got WrestleMania booked there in 2027. That's massive.
Right. And not a company gearing up to sell. That's a company doubling down on partnerships.
Plus imagine the mess that the Saudi outright owned WWE. Some wrestlers probably wouldn't stick around, and the PR nightmare would be pretty brutal.
Yeah, retention would be a nightmare. You'd have talent walking, sponsors getting itchy, way too many headaches for TKO to consider.
Exactly. So, it's a cool headline, right? A fun little rumor. But in reality, the chances are like almost next to it. Pretty slim, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely not losing any sleep over it.
I hope not. But some of these fans out there, man, they're already heated about all these deals. Every time Crown Jewel gets announced, there's backlash. People aren't thrilled about WrestleMania 43 being there, and the Royal Rumble in 2026 being there adds fuel to the fire for all these people.
Yeah, and that's just for a few events. If WWE ever actually sold and became Saudi owned, the backlash wouldn't just be online noise anymore.
Exactly. And then, fans will get to see WWE selling its soul, which they kind of already had. They'll don't sell for whoever gives them the most money, but it would still be pretty ugly. People were already threatened to boycott over these partnerships, so imagine the whole company being sold.
Yeah, you'd be looking like a real fracture in the fan base.
Honestly, if that did ever happen, your fans wouldn't just cancel ESPN Plus. They'd be outside WWE's new towers in Stamford with signs and torches like it's in Frankenstein's castle up there.
And knowing WWE, they'd probably just slap a camera on it and turn it into a premium live event. WWE fans revolt live on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, but seriously though, again, if this did ever happen, it would completely destroy the company's image. You have wrestlers walking out, and a ton of people people get fired too. They always minimize stuff, and sponsors would second guess almost everything.
Yeah, and every final decision would go through Saudi approval. If they wanted the Great Khali as champ tomorrow, guess what? He'd be the champ.
Yeah, we're saying that if like Triple H isn't making the decision, if like the Turkey Al Sheik guy comes and was like, oh no, we want this guy to be champion, which Triple H just has to say yeah. But it just wouldn't work. Not for the business, not for the talent, not for the fans. There's too many reasons why this falls apart the second you really start to think about it.
Which is why at the end of the day, the rumor sounds scarier than it really is.
Yeah, this isn't happening.
Not at all. No. I would bet money that this is not happening. WWE is not going to get sold for a very long time.
I get this like a 2%, 1.5%. There's a world where this could happen, but no. It would basically have to be like if TKO, and I forget, it's Silver Lake, whoever owns TKO. It's Endeavor, but then there's a company that owns Endeavor. But basically, if they were like just wanted to wash their hands of this whole deal and be done with it, that's the only way it would happen. But they are not going to do that. They want to make big money from WWE, and just the loan has to go, and then it's like unlimited possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Because they're monetizing.
It's insane too. Companies that own companies that own companies. Just a lot of convoluted nonsense.
Yep, and they're monetizing this all this for a reason, for long-term success. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I would.
Okay.
And speaking of things that are successful, I don't think the next thing that we're talking about is going to be a very successful campaign.
Well, what do you mean? Are you talking about Hangman Page talking about those commercials that were on the show the other day?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hangman Page wants fans to call up TBS and HBO Max about ice commercials during Dynamite. Like anybody gives a damn about what these commercials are, that's got time to that's when we get up to grab a snack or something or like smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Commercials are background noise. Nobody's sitting there like, gee, I wonder what message this 30-second ad is sending me spiritually. It's when I check my phone or see if my pizza rolls are done.
But no, Hangman Page has got to ride in, all cowboy justice style, and drag politics into wrestling. Dude, fans are literally begging, keep politics out of this shit. But he keeps doubling down, trying to bring up stuff that means something to him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Wrestling is supposed to be the escape. Nobody wants ice. Nobody wants Fox News or CNN. They want to see a buckshot lariat or somebody's face bounce off the mat.
And call your provider. Man, nobody's calling HBO. I can't even get HBO Max to remember where I left off on The Sopranos. But yeah, sure, I guess they're going to take Gary from Wisconsin's call because Hangman Page told him to complain about ice, right?
Yeah, and the kicker, fans don't even agree on wrestling anymore. You can't get two people to agree on who should be champ, and Hangman thinks they're going to rally behind him over commercials? Come on.
It feels like desperation heat to me. When you're not over in the ring, you try to get over with politics, and here's a big spoiler, it never works.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, fans don't give a shit about commercials. They care about the show, the stories, and who's getting knocked out. Hangman should worry about keeping his spot, not babysitting the ad break.
So, wrestling's at least like, we don't have a lot of these. Video games are one of them for me and you, but, we use it as like kind of like an escape to get away from this crap. We hear about politics
Yep.
all day. It's all everybody wants to talk about. So, we just kind of appreciate it if Hangman Page, not only kept politics out of this, but keep your fucking opinion to yourself. I don't want to hear it
Yep.
at all.
You want everybody's money. You're a business. Shut up. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just like, oh, so like you want us to call HBO? Could you imagine like HBO probably end up calling Tony Khan after this? Yeah, did you see what your world champion is like telling people to call and boycott our company? Yeah, could you have a talk with him and tell him probably not to do that?
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if this happened at a company where like Vince was booking or Jim Cornette or Jerry Jarrett, Bill Watts, Ric Flair, and any of the number of people who have booked things in our lifetime, Paul Heyman, you know, they'd be sitting him down as soon as that tweet was made and people were aware of it, and they'd be like, "Hey, dumbass, you need to go delete that now." And we're crafting a thing for you to say that unfucks as much of what you just fucked up as we can, and
And,
don't do this shit again. And
and
you're losing the belt next pay per view, fucking idiot.
yeah, and it's like what successful top guy of any company got there of complaining about stuff every week and acting holier than thou and trying to tell
Could you
people how to
imagine if
live.
Cena did that shit?
Yeah, well, could you imagine Stone Cold was so? This is what Hangman does every week. Oh, don't cheat! Like not only he's not like it's more than just that, but he's like pleading with the people, like trying to like get them to be better people and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, dude, nobody wants to hear it. I just want to hear about how you're gonna whip this guy's ass and how about like
Yep.
you're the number one guy and all that stuff. Like get creative with it. Uh, what was I gonna say about him there? Man, I lost my place in my brain, but
I don't know. He's tanking his own appeal by forcing politics into wrestling. Commercials don't sell tickets.
here's
Wrestlers and storytelling do.
yeah, well, here's what I was gonna say is like this is a pretty tough topic, and we don't support anybody losing their home and having something happen to them that makes them unhappy. But we're not gonna get into that. The only thing that we're gonna get in is please keep the shit to yourself. No one wants to hear it.
Yep. Wrestling is supposed to be for entertainment, not for this.
Exactly.
Just like how the NFL has been ruined with all of their stuff. People try to watch these things for an escape, not to get preached to. Everybody gets preached to enough in every other aspect of their life.
They do.
Well, speaking of preaching things and things that might or might not be interesting to folks, we have a report for those who are interested in wrestling ratings.
Oh, you do?
So, TJ, yeah,
Okay.
I got to talk about these wrestling ratings because now they're trying to figure out. Yeah, sorry, I can't talk. Now they're like trying to figure out algebra while drunk, just like trying to talk while drunk, apparently. Nielsen went and changed their whole system. It's not just a little Nielsen box in grandma's living room anymore. It's now Big Data plus Panel, which sounds like a crappy metal band that would have opened for Fear Factory in like 98 or something.
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's big data plus panel live at Ozfest, right between Cold Chamber and Static X. But for real, what this means is that the numbers that we've been looking at for years, well, you can't really compare them anymore. Like NXT got a reported 0.12, and one of the half the parts of what they're going to be using in the new rating system. But on the other half that we've been using before, on not the big picture, it's just 0.17. So which one's right, and how are they going to mix these together? We don't know. It's neither one of them separate. It's both combined.
Yeah, exactly. It's like trying to compare your old VHS tape to Raw from '97 to some 4K stream today. It's not apples to apples. And honestly, this is going to make people freak out because fans live and die by those decimals, and the new system actually lowers wrestling ratings sometimes, especially with younger audiences.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because wrestling fans already argue about wrestling's ratings, right? Like Cartman argued with his
Yep.
mom about Terrence and Phillip. Like I guess who cares to some extent? We all watched it, and it was good or it was bad. But it's just a big talking point for people to argue about, and it'll be tough to compare them now. Because, like you said, some people live and die by this shit. I don't know. We'll see. Like you said, we don't even know how they're going to end up presenting any of this stuff. Is it going to be a spreadsheet? Is it just going to be two different numbers? Is it going to be both combined?
Yeah, and that's the key moving forward. You can't compare 2025 ratings to the Monday Night Wars or even last year or different measuring sticks. And it's like if you weighed yourself on your bathroom scale and then one of those rigged carnival scales, you're going to get different numbers, but you're still the same dude.
Yeah, so bottom line here, don't lose your mind if you see wrestling ratings dip a little bit or change completely. It's not always about the product, it's about the system. Just like MTV. Some people thought it died because nobody watched videos anymore, but they really just changed the metric. Spoiler, we were still glued to Beavis and Butthead. For a
Exactly.
while.
And the lesson, watch the show, enjoy the chaos, crank your metal loud, and let the nerds fight over the decimals.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
I guess we're the nerds, so we'll fight over them for you.
That's right. You let us do the fighting for you so that you can just hang out and do whatever.
Once, so, um, I think the first shows that are going to be under this new metric are going to be released today, or or whenever. So they seem a couple days behind because AEW Dynamite hasn't been released, right? You can look it up, please, if you want, but I haven't seen them yet. I saw Collisions like today. That's how far they are behind because of this new system, I guess. So I'm not sure where they're really going to pop up, but I'm pretty sure that when we see Dynamite, that the day Wednesday's ratings are going to be the first ones that we see with the um, new changes.
Yeah, it's not up yet.
Yeah,
Oof. Collision was real bad on the 27th though. 248,000
that's under the old system too. So
with a 0.05 in the demo. Wow.
yeah, I mean, people just have stuff to do. They're enjoying the end of their summer and all that. So I'm not going to shit on it too much. That's a terrible spot for wrestling. I think Thursday needs to be where they go, but then that leaves
Oh
them.
shit.
Go ahead.
They're up from the week before. They were at 235,000.
Oh man, that's not good. But
No.
that
That's
being that being said here, I think we got a little game we're going to be playing. All right.
Oh, really?
So we got
This is that new segment we teased.
Yeah, so we got this new segment. We used to do more segments, but we're gonna try to get more creative with them. We got some ideas we've been brewing. We're talking about this stuff every day, so bear with us, and you're gonna probably see some pretty cool, funny content. If you guys actually got some ideas about stuff, we'll even run that by each other, and maybe we'll do some of that too. But we're going to be kicking off something new here on the OverMark podcast, and we're calling it The Price is Not Right. The idea is pretty simple. Wrestling had some of the craziest, most overpriced stuff that you're ever going to see. We're talking replica belts, weird old collectibles, ticket prices that'll make you cry, even vintage merch that's gone for thousands online. Here's how the game works. I'll bring up an item, a ticket, or a piece of wrestling history, and I won't say the price, and Dave's job is to guess what it cost. And then we're going to reveal the real number. Sometimes it'll be way lower than you think, sometimes way higher. But either way, it usually makes you wonder, who in their right mind is going to be paying this much for wrestling stuff? So, let's get to our first round, and of course, we're going to be starting big, the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes.
Oh no. What am I getting myself into?
Alright, so buckle up, Buttercup. This right here is going to be the Cody Rhodes Deluxe Replica Entrance Full Snap Jacket. You've seen him wear it on TV, flashy stars and stripes, and it looks like Evil Knievel's stunt gear if you join the Bullet Club. So I'm going to pull this up right here. And hold on. So you're going to tell me, what do you think that this thing is worth, this big Cody jacket here?
Oh boy, that looks expensive.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 250 bucks.
You're not too far off. So that this item's actually on sale right now, funny enough. So I'm going to reveal the price here. And boom, it's actually normally $429, but with code BELT25 you can get it for $300.
Oh wow. I mean, that's I guess pretty close based on I didn't know there would be a sale. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's almost $500, for a jacket, but these wrestling jackets cost a lot.
I mean, that's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I agree. So like I know at one point that you were messing around with that Bret Hart jacket. How much was that thing?
Believe it or not, it was not very expensive. Well, I did get it for 50% off. So I paid 150 for it. Off a chalk line. It was that the old school 97 Hitman one, like when they had the Hart Foundation with Owen and Bulldog.
Okay. Cool.
But I think normally they were 300, and I think they're just clearing them out. I
Uh,
don't. Maybe they might still have some left.
all right. Well, that being said, I think we're going to move on to our second item, and this is going to be from the AEW shop here. So, sorry, I'm all messed up. So, I actually revealed the price there to the fans, but I think you're still good. So, we got this limited
I
edition
wasn't
Will
looking.
Ospreay Assassin's Creed Shadows X AEW lightweight jacket here, and it's double-sided, funny enough. So, what do you think this thing is here? Since we were just looking at another jacket, and this one's a special edition Will Ospreay Assassin's Creed one.
All right, bear with me.
You're good.
I'm looking. I mean, that kind of looks like something you'd find on the clearance rack at Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah, I think so, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know, man. That's pretty shitty. I don't know, $50.
I think you'd be off a little bit there. So this one right here is $135.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, $135. Man,
Yes.
for that money, I'd rather just buy the actual game and a jacket that doesn't even make me look like a confused LARP character. Well, what other awesome pieces of crap do you have for me?
Okay, so we're going to be moving on here, and that's to an item on the WWE shop here, and you're going to like this one a lot. So this is a men's black Baron Corbin modern day wrestling god t-shirt. Keep in mind, this guy doesn't work for this company anymore.
Baron Corbin merch.
Yeah.
What?
It's on clearance.
That's already too much no matter what the price is.
Yeah. So this item, I'll give you a hint. This item normally goes for $29.99. It's on clearance right now.
All right, well, I guess they got to be pretty much just giving that shit away by now, right?
You'd be close.
$10?
No, you're actually off. So that item here goes to $7, $6.99.
$6.99.
Yes.
Honestly, that's still too much. I wouldn't have bought one when he was on TV every week. I'm definitely not buying one now.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I don't want anything to do with Baron Corbin. I thought that you'd like that because we had two. We went from the most expensive, it was like $400 down to like $7. But yeah, that's just interesting. Every single one of those pieces of wrestling merch were crap. I'm not wearing the Cody jacket. It works for him. Nobody should buy that thing unless you're getting it signed or it's like one that he has owned himself. The Assassin's Creed jacket, if you bought and wore that thing, you are a brave person.
Maybe we'll add the links to the description of the video so that if you guys are interested in buying this crap, you can go buy it. And yeah, probably not though. I don't know. Who knows?
We'll see. I could do that, but I don't know. I just thought that would be a fun game. Maybe we'll come up with some more. I know it's a little bit rough around the edges, but we're still getting our footing on some of these segments that we're going to do. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had fun with that. I hope you had fun too, Dave. I put that together so we had a little bit of a game to play.
I did have fun. That was kind of entertaining. And, since I didn't get any of the prices right, I got them all not right. We'll hit a...
Oh. Not good. I think that's going to transition us, though, into wrapping her up here today. So we had a fun episode here, right?
Yeah. Well, I do have a question, though.
What's that?
Why do you always talk like a whore?
You tell me, man. I don't know. That's a great question.
Well,
But so we're gonna talk about the next episode here, which is gonna be SmackDown and Dynamite, right? Or no, SmackDown.
You little hoe.
It's SmackDown and Collision. I don't think any of that's gonna be going on, but if it does, it's gonna be they're gonna be some improved wrestling shows. But yeah, if that happened on Collision, that'd be something else. I guess Tony's addictions led him down the wrong path. But yeah, check out the social media at OverMark ENT. I appreciate you, Dave. We're at that part of the show. I appreciate the fans for listening.
The polite portion I like to think of this as is appreciate the shit out of you, TJ. We love our overmaniacs that listen to our episodes, and even if you don't click our things and subscribe and comment or whatever, we still appreciate you, but we'd appreciate you a little bit more if you did that for us, you know?
Absolutely.
And,
This sounds very gay.
oh, well, you pipe down over there, Tony. We don't need to hear that out of you.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who Tony Soprano is, you should check him out. He's a really cool guy. He's a big fan of ours. He's usually sitting around while we're doing the podcast. You know, it's funny how we used to have a certain guy that made people angry and announce our segments for us. Maybe we can have Tony do it.
We could, you know, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, just the other guy is
And,
AI voice is a little bit easier to do. They're all over the place, but I think we can find one for this too.
Yeah, you know, Sopranos has been over for what, like 20 years almost now. So, you know,
It's a cult, or not even a cult hit, but it's huge.
we're living in the past, you know, fucking.
Oh yeah.
I can't find pussy anywhere.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of living in the past, but
that's okay. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
that's true. But that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm about to get out of here. Dave's about to get out of here. I appreciate you guys. You can check out my GameCube real quick before we get out of here, or the N64, whichever one you like. Or we got the Super Nintendo. We got the three generations right in a row. But we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna say bye. Dave's gonna say bye, and we're gonna hit that song.
One last plug before we go. Arizona Teas,
Move them closer to
please
the middle.
sponsor us.
Closer together.
closer.
Nope. Closer together. Back.
Like
There
that.
you go. You got it.
Boom. We're figuring out how to do this.
Yeah.
We got an Arnold Palmer and a sweet tea. These are Biss. Arizona, send us cases of this. You don't even got to give us money.
That's right. But we're going to get on out of here. We appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
DJ's yelling at a gift, Dave's eating crab. We skipped our bills to watch Raw live and ranked 800 wrestlers just to survive.